Hello, and welcome to my video. My name is SimplySimRacer, and I will be your guide and your narrator during this video today. This is going to be an F1 2020 driver career mode playthrough. I was going to do that on my team mode, but unfortunately it has been crashing a lot whenever I can't even get past FP2 right now in Melbourne. And in my other account I had made it all the way to Monaco, but I can't get past FP2 there. The game keeps crashing. So instead of going through that and having to start all over again, I decided to just go ahead and do the driver mode. Hopefully this stays up. This one actually doesn't crash on me, and yeah, we'll go from here. So we're gonna go ahead and be doing the F2 tester instead of the short F2 and the full F2 season. The reason being is that I'm not too big on F2, to be honest. I think it's cool, I think it's neat, but if I'm gonna be honest, I would prefer F1. I think part of the reason is because I haven't actually even given the chance to get into F2, but that's okay. So I'm gonna go. So the lady just finished speaking, so we're gonna go ahead and look through all three of these. You know, completing 6 single races in 2019 Formula 2 season of your on your road to Formula 1, complete with one-shot qualifying, completing 3 exciting races. So we're gonna go ahead and do this one because it's just 3 races. It's Red Bull Ring, Monza, and the Yes Marina. So for this one, I believe we're gonna go ahead and do 25%, maybe 50, as far as race length. We don't want to make it too long, but we don't want to make it too short either with just 5 laps. And I guess maybe for the F2 we could have done that, but went ahead and chose about 25%. The whole race isn't going to be shown. I'm just going to be showing pretty much like the more highlight portions of the races. Alright, so right here we're in the select team mode, and we're gonna go ahead and choose Carlin. And the reason why we choose Carlin is because that's gonna be the Red Bull. Well, later on, it's right now, when it was used by Sonora, it had like the Red Bull liveries, and I think it looked pretty cool. So I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and do that one. Like I said, I'm not too big into F2, so I'm not too familiar with the teams. I just know that the BWT artists I was leaving for, like Racing Point, Mercedes, Sauber Junior Team. I know those, but that's it. And yes, as you saw, we went ahead and chose the Carlin. Now we're choosing the Driver Academy, and we were debating on whether we were going to end up ultimately wanting to go to Mercedes, Red Bull, or Ferrari, obviously. Went ahead and chose Red Bull though because I like the way the livery looks. I like that like bluish color, the way it looks on the cars. It looks so smooth. So like the color itself looks really smooth. Like if you touch it, it feels like it looks like if you touched it that it would be like smooth and soft, almost velvety. I mean suede like. So like, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And yeah, I wasn't sure whether we were gonna, once we went to F1, I wasn't sure whether we were gonna start like a complete brand new rookie and, you know, possibly go to AlphaTauri, or whether we were gonna go straight to Red Bull. And I was like, well, you know what, in real life, what would happen? You know, what if I was an actual F1 driver? Would I have gone to AlphaTauri, or would I have gotten the chance to go to Aston Martin Red Bull right away? Now just Red Bull Racing. And I was like, well, you know what? Okay, yeah, so we went ahead and left it at 25. No, 50. Maybe 25. Okay, I guess we left it at 50%. But yeah, so I decided, like, what would Red Bull do? Oh, and we're not going to be doing 110 AI difficulty. I'm sorry, I'm just not there right now. So we went ahead and put it at 73, and then we're gonna slowly increase it based on how we're performing. So if obviously, like, if we're winning like left and right, it's like, okay, we really shouldn't be winning. or I guess it just depends on which team we're with. If we're with Red Bull, SMR Red Bull, then I guess it is expected for us to be at the front. But I don't want to make it too easy either, where I'm just like winning, you know, with like 5 seconds plus of difference between me and, you know, like Hamilton or Bottas or Verstappen, you know, because obviously that's not going to be realistic. Me being a brand new driver, being 5 seconds ahead of some of the best race car drivers currently, no. So if we do get too ahead of them, the next race we will bump it up by 5 points. If that gives us a good enough challenge, then we'll leave it at there until we get used to it, and we're slowly going to increase it by 2 points each time until we reach that 110 difficulty. So for F2, like I said, we did 73 difficulty, but for F1 we're gonna go ahead and bump that up to 75, and depending on how we do with that will determine on whether we stay at 75 or whether we bump it up. The cars are a lot faster and more competitive in F1 anyways, so I feel like 75 will be a good mix between difficulty and like exciting content that I can produce. But yeah, so anyways, like I was saying, what would Red Bull do? Would Red Bull give me the chance? And the thing I thought about was, well, yeah, they would give you the chance if you prove yourself. Red Bull is all about headlines and being in the papers, in front of papers, or I guess like in websites and blogs and, you know, motorsport blogs, auto blogs, stuff like that. Like they want to be the talking point of those. And, you know, a brand new rookie, like fresh from F2, making it straight to Red Bull and winning races, that would be, you know, headlines, while still, you know, keeping a good deal of realism. So as you saw, we went ahead and chose the first strategy. We're gonna have one pit stop we're gonna start with the ultra softs, and then we're gonna switch over to the softs. So the Red Bull ring isn't a hard race at all. It's actually really easy. Didn't get the best of launch here, but that's okay. So we're gonna go ahead and go through. So we were in P4, we dropped down to P6 now, and so we're gonna go ahead and cruise through. Right behind here, Macepen, who is currently now in F1. Okay, so we ended up going straight into Pocolachi. I'm sorry if I butchered that. And it's the first lap, and we already have front wing damage. So, and that's just great. I mean, luckily we are pitting in about 5 laps, so that's we can manage it. We are going to be experiencing some understeer now, so we are going to have to brake earlier and, you know, be a little bit more careful as far as turning and entry speed, because of the fact that we do have wing damage. We're not going to have the downforce that we normally had. F1 cars don't have, I mean, F2 cars don't have as much downforce as F1 cars have anyways. So, like, as far as the dirty air stuff isn't that big of an issue. It still is, but not as much as F1, because F1 is super complicated, and yeah, they're really bad with like dirty air, with like cars following and stuff. That's why we have DRS, because, you know, cars, the chasing car in the corner just will not be able to keep up with the leading car. It just can't, because of how complex the downforce, the aero systems are in these cars. Like, you can actually see the vortices being created if you like watch F1 cars, like especially like when they're going around the corners, and like when it's like zoomed in on the car, like look in the back by the rear wing, you actually see like little like spirals, little vortices happening. It's actually pretty insane. So we ended up passing Macepen, taking 4th. We're right behind Latifi, and fun fact, Latifi is also in F1 now. I believe he's in Williams, and Macepen is in Haas, I believe. So we'll see how they do. They were doing pretty good in F2 from what I heard, so hopefully, I'm pretty sure they'll do well in F1. So alright, we're gonna hopefully get around Latifi here, and yes, we successfully pulled off the move, took 3rd place. And now we got our eyes set on first and second place. Alright, so Kyoto, I believe is how you pronounce his name, just set the fastest. I mean, Zoe just set the fastest lap. So yeah, once again, I apologize if I butcher these guys' names. Luckily Latifi, it was out of DRS range for us, but unfortunately we're out of DRS range, and there was a understeer, like I said, from the wing damage. Unfortunately, that corner is going to be an issue until we pit and get that front wing changed. Alright, so right here, there's nothing too much exciting. Just chasing down, trying to stay with them, trying to keep Latifi out of DRS range, trying to catch up to them so that we get in DRS range. We managed to put some distance between us and Latifi, 2.5 second of difference between us, and there's a 1.3 gap between me and Zoe. So we're catching up. Because it was at a 1.5 earlier. So luckily these cars don't have as complicated. Oh, we just set the fastest lap. Alright, so we went ahead and skipped forward a little bit because there was nothing too exciting that was going on. It literally was just like the same last lap that you saw, just me chasing and them trying to stay ahead of me. As you can see, we managed to catch up to them. We're only 4/10 of a second away from them. We just managed to pass Zoe and get into second place. We're still within DRS range from Kyoto, so at the next DRS range, we should be at the next DRS activation spot. We should be able to get it, but actually I think we're gonna pit on this lap. Yeah, we're gonna pit on the 6th lap, and we're gonna switch over to the softs. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to pass Kyoto, but that is okay. And unfortunately, this pit stop is actually going to backfire on us too, because Zoe pits at the same time that we do, and unlike us, and Zoe is only getting his tires changed. Unlike us, we are getting our tire changed and a front wing. So the front wing takes longer than the tires. Obviously, it's a little bit more time consuming. There I am, watching to make sure that he doesn't leave before I do, but of course he is gonna leave. He just left right now. Yeah, you can see him leave right there. So unfortunately, he's out of our reach now, and we actually ended up dropping all the way down to P17. So yeah, we ended up losing 15 positions in that one pit stop because of the front wing damage that we had in turn 1. In lap 1. But it's okay, because now we're on the softs. We got a fresh wing, fresh tires. Let's catch up. We're not that far away from 16th place, and then we just took P16, but we ended up overshooting. So we ended up dropping back to P17. So here we're going again. We're not in, we can't get DRS because we're in our out lap. Alright, so we're slowing down here and pulling off that fabulous right turn. Now we're gonna just try and stay in the slipstream. Our teammate is in the pits now, and we're gonna try and go for a move, but no, because that's just dumb. Well, no, don't go for a move there. Now we're going, and as you can see, we're right behind Calderon, and boom, we managed to pass him. So like I said, depending on how we felt, the difficulty would determine whether we would keep it or not. And so I kept this difficulty for right now because I felt like the Red Bull ring is easier, so I just wanted to make sure that this difficulty wasn't just the ring, or if this was like in general how much distance I would be able to keep up, how easily I would be able to overtake and whatnot. Because if I'm just able to easily overtake them all the time, then I need to I need to put up the difficulty. But if I'm able to overtake them easily because it's the Red Bull ring, and I'm familiar with the Red Bull Ring, because I am, then that's a different story, because that's just a track that I'm familiar with, more comfortable, so I'm gonna be faster on that one compared to a track that I'm not as familiar with. But even if I'm not familiar with the track, if I'm still ahead of the AI and still easily gapping them, then that means it's time to bump it up. But if I'm not familiar with the track and I can't lose the AI, but if I can stay in the front, or if I can keep up with them, then you know, okay, that's a good difficulty. Once I start passing them and beating them, that's when I need to bump up the difficulty. So we're in lap number 8, we're in P8, going on to lap 9. Jumped forward a little bit again, a couple laps. That was nothing too exciting, other than I guess we moved from P8, P8 to P7, but I mean that's just one overtake. And the person in Ella that was in P8 actually had some distance between himself and Sete Chimera, so yeah, so there was like a good distance between when I passed him and seeing someone else. So right here we're in lap 12, 8 more laps to go, and we're in P7. We got DRS and we're heading off. We're right after Sete Chimera. Like we're gonna lose him. That's not gonna happen. Gonna stay right behind him, make sure we don't run into him, we don't need a penalty or to have even more wing damage. Still in DRS range. Alright, now as we're going here, we go ahead and try the move and just barely managed to squeeze by. That probably wouldn't have been a good move to pull off, but hey, it happened. It's a video game too. Alright, so we moved out to P6, and with only 6 more laps, with only 8 more laps to go, and P6, as long as we can overtake at least 2 people per lap, we should be good, or we should be able to at least make it to, you know, P5, well, P4. We should at least be able to make it a P4, because Macepen will put us in P5, and then Atkin will put us in P4. So those guys are directly in front of us, so those guys shouldn't be a problem as far as catching up, just keeping them, catching them, and overtaking them. So Macepen was just out of DRS range right there. It's okay though. As we come up, so we're gonna keep up with him, and we're gonna get DRS right here. And boom, activate DRS. Oh wait, no, there's no DRS. Is that one earlier? I don't know what I was thinking. Is it? I can't remember. I am familiar with it, and yet I can't remember the DRS zones. But then again, that's just F1. Because I also played I really played the Red Bull Ring in Gran Turismo. Alright, so we had a yellow flag earlier, and now we're up to a green flag again. Not too sure what happened. More likely someone was losing control. Put a green flag again. Yeah, so someone is out of the season. So yes, and we just got a warning for collision with Macepen. When he's the one that was getting in our way. But it's all cool, dog. We'll pass you. But right here, we got DRS. And so we went ahead and get to P4, to second to last lap. As you can see, we managed to pass Macepen and Atiken. So we are in P4 now. And right, Bocolachi is a little bit ahead of us, not that far. He's a little over a second away. I mean, just shy of 2 seconds. But hey, it looks like a 0 from the angle that I was looking at first. All right, so he's not that far away from us. Oh wait, is that a 3? Wait, I think that is a 3. Oh yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, so he's actually 3.9 seconds away from us now, 1.7. And yeah, I remember, because I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't have enough time to even get to P2, because even if I manage to catch up to Bocolachi in this next lap and a half, I'm not gonna have enough time to catch up to Gyoto. So I mean, I guess best case scenario, I would have still got podium, but yeah, unfortunately there was just too much of a distance. Having damage on the first lap did set us back drastically. It forced us to be longer in the pit lane, and even after we finished with our pit stop and we tried to leave, we had to wait for all the other cars that finished before us. So, and as you can see right here, the tires are starting to lose a little bit of grip at this point. It is the last lap, so, and I kind of overshot a little bit too, but yeah, so unfortunately we're gonna stay in P4. I guess unfortunately because we don't move up, fortunately because we don't lose any more places. But yeah, so enjoy this last final lap, and oh, there he is. If only we could have caught him. If only. If we had a couple more laps, I feel like we would have been able to catch him. That's all we need, a couple more laps. But it is what it is. And this isn't the last race either. Now we're only doing 3 races from the season, but we still have 2 more that we ourselves are actually going to partake in. Okay. Cross the finish line in 4. See what our overall time was. Oh, Bocalachi is the driver of the day.
Brilliant stuff from Uni Virtuosi today. That's another historic win.
Congratulations, Suni. Congratulations. That's the guy that was behind me. And because I got damaged, he ended up winning. You're welcome. I didn't even get the podium. Uni had a good race, you know, this weekend. They got a 1-2 podium. Lucky bastards. But yeah, so like I said, I'm not too much of a F2 fan, but I am trying to get into it because it does seem interesting. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and move on to our first. Alright, so as you see, we ended up finishing 4th place. We currently have a total of 14 points. Well, we got 14 points from that. We have 81 points, and our team has 127, and we're in 4th place again. It says our first interview. Things are definitely heading up this season. Who do you think will take the championship? Do you even have to ask me? Of course, it is. It's too early to say. There's a lot of good competition and blah blah blah. This is, by the way, if you can't tell, I'm recording the voice afterwards. I recorded the gameplay prior. There's a lot of buzz around you. Do you see yourself graduating to F1 after this season? Yes, of course. I definitely see myself. Now, normally my answers wouldn't be that cocky sounding, or I don't know, maybe it's just me that it sounds cocky, but I kind of wish that you could like say your own responses, but that would require the game to be really smart, and we're just not there yet, unfortunately, with technology. But yeah, Codemasters, if you can ever get the game to the point where we can have something like that, that would be dope. You can see the ring from the old Monza track. That would have been dope. I wish we could have done that. I wish there was games that let you use the old circuit layout. For those of you that don't know, Monza used to have it so that where you completed the first lap, when you were coming back, you would go straight to the right, and then instead of going straight towards like the chicane and stuff, you would take a turn. You would do a right turn, and it would continue, and then it would have a huge banked turn again. and then it would come back and go to the starting line again.
Fantastic qualifying from Nicholas Latifi yesterday.
All right, so Latifi starting in first, Zoe starting in second, Mace Pen in third, us in fourth, Giotto in fifth. All right, and then after that, it's, you know, they can start in whatever order. Where's our teammate? Where's he? He might have passed already. Yeah, he passed.
Now it's almost time to lights out. So let's go down to the track.
Alright, boys and girls, we're going to Monza. Now, Monza is pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You just want the car to go as fast as possible. You know, gonna go ahead and use a custom setup. It's gonna be really similar to the Top Speed. The difference being the aero and the tranny. The tranny here, the transmission has for the differential had a 2080. Ours has a 4060. Yeah, and I'm sorry, not the aero. Yeah, I changed the aero, put it at 1 and 2. The reason being is because there's enough straights that straight line speed is the importance, and the less drag you have, the better. So right here, we didn't get the best of start. Gonna go ahead and drop back pretty badly, not gonna lie. We're gonna drop back to about P7. And the first turn in Monza is always a huge cluster fudge. But yeah, and if you've ever played GT Sport, Forza, or even this online, you know that that first turn is always mayhem. It's always madness. Like, people just ram into each other, like they forget how to brake. They just use each other for braking. So yeah, Monza's not that fun unless you're playing in a league, I guess, where people understand to respect the rules, respect each other. But if you're just playing like in online lobbies, more likely you're not gonna have a good match unless there's like a ranked system. And if there is a ranked system, then the races will obviously be better. But once you get out of the lower tier lobbies, the lower tier lobbies are a huge issue. People just ram, people cut you off, people use you as a people dive bomb you in corners, and they use you to like help themselves slow down while passing you, and at the same time sending you flying. And then they claim that they're faster than you, and you should have got out of the way. Like, nah, man, you're not fast. You just dive bomb into people and force them off the road. How are they supposed to catch you when they get thrown into the dirt or the grass, and then they gotta stop the car, and then on top of that they lose traction, so like as soon as they hit the gas, the wheels are gonna spin. So it's like by the time they catch up to you, by the time they get back on the asphalt, you're already gone. But it's not because you're faster, it's because you're a douchebag that doesn't know how to brake and needs to go back to Need for Speed. Like, that should be sim racing courtesy 101, that you do not use other people as other cars as to help you brake. I mean, would you do that in real life? Would you use other cars to help you turn? Like, would you dive bomb other race car drivers in real life? No, because it's stupid. All that's gonna do is cost money, black flag you, and possibly ban you. You know, it's like no one wants to race with someone like that. Like, oh, get out of here, man. And unfortunately, that's a huge issue in GT Sport and Forza. It's not that big of an issue in GT Sport in the ranked lobbies, in the higher ranked lobbies, and even some of the lower ranked lobbies. People are starting to become more courteous because they want to get out of the lower ranked lobbies. Unfortunately, there's still some of those D-bags that just don't understand it or don't care, and I don't know, they're just having a bad day, so they're just trying to piss off as many people as they can. But whatever. I might start an Idiot of the Week style series as well, for like GT Sport, Forza, and F1. Like, if you guys haven't heard of that channel, it's idiots. I forgot the name of the channel, but it's some guy. He has like a series called Idiots of the Week, and it's just people that dive bomb and don't know how to drive in sim racing games. It's pretty funny. You guys should check it out. And if you do check him out from my channel, please let them know that. Please let them know that SimplySimRacer sent you, so you know that they know that I shouted them out. But yeah, okay. So right here we're in P2, lap 3, and as you can see, we ended up getting back the positions that we ended up losing. And Monza, for the most part, is an easy race. You do have to be careful on that last chicane, because it is a high-speed chicane, and if you cut too much on the left, it's really easy to unbalance and upset the car, and you'll end up going straight to the right into the barrier, and you'll either destroy your car, or you know, you'll have to restart. Right here, staying in the slipstream of Latifi. Gonna try and pass him as soon as we get the chance to, and boom, pull off the move on him. As you can see, I showed it. We're gonna show it again in slow motion, cause oof, look at that. Oof. Ooh. Yeah, I like that, cause I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was gonna run into him. It almost looked like I was gonna run into him. For a second there, I thought I was gonna run into him. But here soon, I'm gonna go ahead and cut, because actually no. So we're gonna go ahead and start going to the pit lane for our first pit stop, and I believe we're gonna switch over to the mediums. And I'm actually the only one that hasn't pitted. It's funny, but it's because my tire wear was good, so I didn't need to switch over to the medium. So because the engineer gave me an option to switch the strategy instead of pitting on lap 6, I believe. He let me pit on lap 8. But yeah, alright. So it's not that long of a race. We only have 7 more laps. So we're not gonna go ahead and have to pit again after this. The mediums should last us until the end of the race. Right there, I had an itch, so that's why you saw me pause it. And I just had another one. Just like as soon as I mentioned it, I just got one in my head. We're gonna go ahead and cut here soon, just because, I mean, we're in the front, and it's pretty much just gonna be the same thing as this lap. There's not gonna be anything special, so we're gonna go ahead and cut forward here in a bit after this lap, just so that you can see what's gonna happen. As you can see, there was no one behind us. Latifi, closest person to us, is 2.4 seconds away from us, so we have a decent lead between us and them. So yeah, so we're not gonna really have to worry. Obviously, we're still gonna have to be careful, still continue to drive fast and accurately, but we can breathe, and that's the important thing. But we do have to be careful, because as you see, we did lose about 0.3 of a second right now, because now we're at 1.7 seconds, whereas we lost like 0.6 of a second. We just gained 0.3. Okay. Yes, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and cut forward, because every other lap from 9 until now is pretty much gonna be the same. And the only reason why we're cutting to this one is because this is the second to last lap. I mean, third to last lap. Now we're in the second to last lap. And as you saw right there, we ended up placing the fastest lap, and we did end up getting a 5-second penalty. That was because in the last high-speed chicane, I ended up cutting too much, which ended up giving me a 5-second penalty. So yeah, if you cut too much on the left, and usually that happens when you enter at the wrong angle, so you don't really have like you don't have the momentum to turn the car all the way to the left at the end. So I mean, you don't have the momentum to turn the car too much to the right, because it could upset the car. So you end up cutting a little too much to try and keep the car straight as possible. So right here we're checking out the tire temperatures, just making sure that our tire temperature is still good. Reason being is because I felt a little bit of slippage earlier in one of the earlier laps with the mediums, so I just wanted to make sure that that they weren't like overheating too much and possibly wearing out even faster than they should be. So for those of you that don't know, if you play F1, you should definitely maintain a check on your tire temperature and your engine temperature too, because if it starts to get too hot, if the engine starts to overheat, it's not going to produce as much power. So you're gonna lose power, and I mean that's something that happens in real life. If the engine starts to overheat, then you lose power, because engines don't run efficiently when they're hot. They run efficiently in cooler temperatures. They have optimal temperatures that they operate at, and you know, like, well, yes, that might still be like burning hot to us, to the engine, that's considered cool temperatures, or operating temperatures. It's just warm enough to keep everything nice and warm, to move smoothly, and like because cold metal can break easier or can crack easier than warm metal can. And then on top of that, you have certain parts that just don't operate well in the cold, and then especially if they're moving parts like pistons, camshafts, stuff like that. You want all those things to be nice and warm and lubricated, since they are moving. But yeah, so this chicane I was talking about earlier, that chicane gave me a 5-second penalty on one of the earlier laps. I ended up cutting a little too much to the left, so here's what it is. It's only a 5-second penalty, and so as you can see, we do have a 10.2 second gap between us and the Tiffy though, so we do need to definitely move up the difficulty. But the only problem is that Monza is actually considered easy too, so it's like, well, I don't want to move it if it's on easy laps that's happening, because I'm also not the driver of the day. So but yeah, so as you can see, yeah, I'm pretty sure the team principal was happy. You know, I won it. That was for you, dog. That was for the homies in the Carlin team. Team Carlin, right? The race winner. I'm the race winner. You gotta accept it. If you don't like it, oh well. If you know where that's from, you are awesome. I'll give you a hint. L-O-K. L-O-K. If you know what that means, you'll get the reference. Alright, going on to our second interview. How do you feel that you performed today? I feel that things went well, and I'm more than happy with the result today. Are you still in the running for the championship? What do you think of your chances going forward? There's a lot of other good drivers out there. It's still too early to call. Good that there's strong competition, but if I focus, I'm in a good shot. There are a lot of good drivers out there, and it's still too early to call. Just trying to be a good sportsman, but in reality, we know I'm gonna win. There's still rumors about you moving to F1 at the end of the season. Care to comment on those? I'm still focusing on the season. When there's something to say, I'll say it. I feel like I feel like that last part though. When there's something to say, I'll say it. I feel like that's super rude. Like, when there's something to say, I'll say it. Okay, you know. But hey, that's just me. Alright, so now we're going on to the last and final round of this F2 season, And we're in the beautiful Abu Dhabi, yes, Marina circuit, in the Arab Emirates. United Arab Emirates, I think that's how it's pronounced. Have you guys ever noticed that every single country that's like Muslim based, or like where Islam is like the main religion, the flags are always 4 colors: green, white, black, and red. Like sometimes they're not all those colors, sometimes there's like only like 1 or 2 of those colors, sometimes they're all 4 of those colors. But yeah, look at any country that's predominantly Muslim, where Islam is the country's religion and they follow Sharia law. You will see that that the flag is those 4 colors, a distinctive pattern of those 4 colors, or a combination of those 4 colors. You know, Pakistan, United Arab Emirates. Yeah, I can't even think of any more. But yeah, look it up. Alright, so right here we're taking off, right? Oh, and don't not mean to get political, did not mean to offend anyone. I was just stating a fact. It's just something I noticed. I saw it on the interesting facts on Facebook one time. So you just like random facts you probably didn't know. So I'm not trying to offend anyone, and if I did, I'm really sorry. But okay, so right here so we're on the first lap. Got 11 laps to go, 10 laps to go, 11 total. We're in P7. That's where we started off. So we're not that good, not in that good of a position, and our race engineer isn't gonna be too happy. I mean, team principal isn't gonna be too happy with us not really gaining positions, but at least we didn't lose positions. So right here, boom, 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 go on to the left of Zhao, we pass him, move on up to 6th, and we got Kyoto in our sights as our next target of attack. So we set the sights, get our fangs ready, pouncing, stalking, there we go, let's go. We managed to perform the move. I feel like something happened, probably locked up, or like had like a wheel spin or something. But yeah, so now we got our eyes set to Camara as our next target of attack. So can we pass him? And the answer is, oh, he's kind of far away. But yeah, well, not that far away. He's 6/10 of a second away from us, and Kyoto is 8/10 of a second away from us, so not that far away. We're definitely within ERS range as soon as DRS gets activated next lap, as long as there's no rain. For those of you who don't know, in F2, for DRS to get activated, it takes 2 laps. So on the 3rd lap, DRS is activated unless the weather doesn't permit it. So right there, we did have some contact between ourselves and the Camara. Didn't break enough, but it wasn't nothing bad. It wasn't bad, you know. We didn't upset him, but yeah. So alright, so now right here, oh boom, we managed to pass Latifi, move on up. Now we got our eyes set on our next target again. Yes, now we're just going down here, going down the straight. Sorry, I had something stuck in my teeth. But yeah, I hope you guys are all enjoying it so far. Yeah, like I said, this is just gonna be like a little short intro to F2, and F2 is interesting. It's different than F1, I guess. Like certain races, like depending on where you finish, determines whether you're like more towards the back or the beginning on the next race. So it's actually an interesting concept. So we'll see. I heard that they were considering about bringing sprint races to F1 this year, but I guess that didn't happen. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. So right there we ended up going way too wide. We had a little bit of understeer, which caused us to go wider than we should, but that's all good. Got a nice little aerial shot of the action that's going on. I like the replay cameras because it makes it look like if it's real F1 or F2, I guess in this case. You know, like the camera moving or like focusing on one spot, zooming out, or cameras being from the top, you know, like this. It's nice. It gives it that, like, that feeling that, yeah, you know, someone is in charge of that right now, you know. Alright. Oh yeah, so no, it wasn't Latifi, it was Seta Camara that we had passed. So now we're right attacking Macepin, and can we pull off the move? Yes, we do. We successfully pull it off. Here's another shot of it. I thought he was gonna keep it, to be honest. I mean, he did reach the apex before us, and it looks like I maybe could have given him a little bit more room, but hey, I didn't notice it at the time, so my bad, Macepin. So now we're on the podium. It's nice. We still got quite a few laps to go. We still got 7 laps to go before the end of the race. And we only need 2 more positions. We only need 2 more positions until we're in the pole position. So this should be done, even if it takes us roughly 3 laps per individual to pass them. That'll still leave us with 1 lap to spare, which would be the final lap, you know, to try to increase the gap between us as much as possible. Alright, so right now we're closing the gap while at the same time increasing. When I got to Mason, we just took out one of the signs, but now we're within DRS range of the TP, and we're out of DRS range for Macepin. So it's a win for both of us. Macepin, he's like right on the edge of DRS and not having DRS. I mean, of giving DRS and not giving DRS to Seta Camara, but that's not really our concern. Like one famous race car driver said, don't focus on what's behind you, focus on what's in front of you. Alright, so we ended up skipping forward a little bit. Nothing exciting happened. We ended up passing Latifi, but that was just a regular overtake, and then after that nothing exciting happened. As you can see, we ended up moving all the way to the 7th lap, and that is because right now we're here soon. We're gonna pass Delatraz and take our rightful place as the king of F2, or just pole position. Alright, so now we're going boom, boom, we get the slipstream. He tries to go to the inside to try to go a little defensive. Doesn't work. He gets his soul crushed harder than my mom when she found out that I didn't want to become a doctor. And here we go, boom, as we go. Like sadly, he's still in DRS. He's still in DRS range. We're not in DRS range, but it's all good. So now we are in first place. We are in a pole position. So we're not gonna focus on Delatraz. We're not gonna focus on Latifi. We're not gonna focus on Macepin. No, we're gonna focus on the end of the race. Why? Because there's no need to focus on them. They're behind us. Why would we pay attention to someone that's behind us? You know what I mean? Why pay? Oh, we just ended up oversteering right there. I mean, understeering right there. But you know, that's a life lesson for you guys. You know, in real life, like, why worry about what someone that's behind you thinks of you? You know, those people are behind you, and they're gonna stay behind you for a reason. You know, focus on the people that are in front of you. You know, the people that are successful right now, the people that you want to be. You know, focus on them, and how can you get there? All right, so we got a few more laps to go. Only 3 more laps. We're on lap 8 out of 11 right now. Still in first place. You know, Delatraz is actually keeping up with us, so we actually are second. And I believe at most we managed to put like a little over a second of distance between us. Yeah, so 1.4. As you can see, we switched over to the 10th lap because nothing happens. We actually ended up pulling away from them, as you can see. So I was like, well, there's no point in showing 3 laps of repetitiveness, you know. So it's like I'll just skip over to the last one. Well, second to last one. So unfortunately for us, the Latras is not going to be within DRS range. So you know that's going to be an easy takeoff for us. He's not going to be able to get close to us during this point because of the straight. He just was not quick enough to get near us, and that's okay. But hey, maybe next time, buddy. Maybe next time you can get it. Alright, so we're coming up towards that final chicane. Coming down this one of the last few straights. As you can see, in the mini map behind us, they're still right on our ass, but not gonna happen. Okay, now we're in the final chicane. Yeah, I believe that is the final chicane. And now we got about a lap and a half left, maybe less than that, and we're almost home. We're almost in home base. We're almost in home base. As long as we keep this up, you know, don't make any mistakes. Don't try and be a hero. Don't try to show off. You know, at this point, when you're in the second to last lap, and especially if you're in first or towards the beginning, you know, you don't want to do something that you're gonna regret. Like now, I just lost a whole second to him, to Delatraz. He was 1.7 seconds behind me. Now he's only 8.8 seconds away. So yeah, now he's in DRS range, and we're on the last lap. So is that good for me? No, because since there's no one in front of me, I don't get DRS. Even if Delatraz gets within a second away from me, he's the one that's gonna get it, not me. He will, not me. So I gotta make sure I do this right. And as you can see, there are the proximity arrows. Not really the thing that you want to be seeing on the last lap when you're trying to finish it. Luckily, we are out of the DRS range, so he wasn't able to get DRS on us. Managed to keep our distance. Managed to increase it slightly. Moving over to the very end of it, right here, as you can see, we managed to keep it, but just barely. The trash managed to stay within 0.8 of a second close to us, but we ended up crossing the finish line in first place. And what does that mean? We are the driver of the day, and at the same time, we just won the F2 Drivers World Championship. Yeah, that's right, boys and girls, we did it. That is right, boys and girls, we did it.
Carlin have pulled off a sublime performance to secure the top step.
That is right, we pulled off a sublime performance. You're welcome. You are very welcome, Carlin. I did that for you guys, for you, Red Bull. So over here, you know, celebrating, you know, letting everyone take pictures of us. Yeah, that's right. Take your pictures. Take your pictures. Take your pictures. I wonder if my teammate is jealous. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, only one person can have the driver's title.
You must be thrilled.
Yes, I am thrilled. 2019 Formula 2 champion. How does it feel to take this championship? Fantastic. That is everything. This is everything I've been working for. Has this season been easy for you, or has it been a struggle to the top? Racing is never easy. You have to be at the top of your game every weekend. What are your plans for the future career? Are you able to talk about them yet? I can reveal that next season I'll be in F1. I'm just finalizing the paperwork as we speak.
Appreciate your time.
You are welcome. Alright, so now we're here at the team select. So which team are we gonna go today? Which team are we gonna go today? Will we go to Williams or Alpha or Renault World? Maybe the Scuderia of AlphaTauri, Scuderia AlphaTauri, maybe to the house F1 team, the McLaren, but no, we stuck with the Aston Martin, Red Bull, and mixed up Max Verstappen. 22 races season length. That's right, boys and girls, we're going to be doing a full season. That is right, boys and girls, we're going to be doing a full season, one shot qualifying. We're going to have the formation lap on, but right now we can't have it on, but we will change it later on. Race distance 100%, 75 difficulty. Everything else is going to stay the same. Yeah, there we go. Everything's going to stay the same. Just going through, make sure everything is in the right position. I mean, in the right setting again. And yes, I use the dynamic racing line, but only for the corners. It helps me corner better. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but that's just the way I play the game. Going to our team headquarters right now. We're on round 1 out of 22. Hopefully you guys like it. It's gonna be 22 videos that we're gonna be doing for this, and if you guys like it, we might continue it, you know. All right, so perks of the job. Here you can see your perk funds. This is money negotiating, blah blah blah, resource management. These are your, and then a claim. Pretty much is what this is saying, like your money, your resource points or resource tokens to develop your car. A claim is like your reputation. And that affects like how much money you get and how many resource points you get and whatnot. Christian Horner is the team principal of Aston Martin Red Bull, now just Red Bull Racing. Now we do have the facilities like in the My Team mode, but unfortunately we're not able to modify anything. We do the R&D, the vehicle, our contract. As you can see, we're only worth about 750k, while Max is 7 million. He's got a base salary of 7 million. Wow, we got a measly 750k. Of course, we're at the very end, which I'm sure Red Bull doesn't like seeing someone from their team at the very end. But don't worry, Red Bull, that'll change very, very soon. Alright, so we're gonna go into the R&D with. What are we going to use it on? So we got 2,500 points that we can use it on. So we can either upgrade the powertrain, we can upgrade the oil pressure pump, but that'll take away pretty much all of our points, only leave us with 500 points, which will pretty much leave us with nothing. We do have, as you can see, we do have some things already. We could go to the durability, you know, gearbox durability, that's always good. Lightweight flywheel. Wheel rims, which is always good, and front wing guarding flap. So out of all of these, to be honest, Red Bull is mainly known for their aero. So we're gonna go ahead and choose, and then one thing that's really important for me is durability. So obviously, like, it doesn't matter if you have the fastest car. If your car isn't reliable, then what's the point? You know what I mean? So durability is one thing I focus on. Power is obviously another thing. I guess my order would be durability, power, aero, chassis. But for right now, because power costs too much, we're gonna go ahead to the aero. Alright, so we're left with 500 points. Now we're gonna go ahead and advance time. Gonna get 480 resource points. Now we're gonna go ahead and go to the car review. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I really like Red Bull's livery. It looks super nice. Like I said, it just looks smooth, you know, like that blue that they have. It just, I don't know, it just looks smooth, like suede. I don't know, it just, I like Alcantara, you know. It just looks smooth. Okay, sorry about that. I thought I had cut all the long loading screens. moments, but I guess that was one thing I missed. So I'm gonna have to make sure that I definitely go through the video a lot more next time. But all right, so now we got some more points that we can spend. So obviously we got some season objectives. We're gonna go ahead and advance time again. Now we got the flap and the upgrade durability to the gearbox. Then we have 1460 points that we can go ahead and use. Now we still don't have enough for the power, obviously. Now we could spend it on the turbo, the ice, or gearbox durability too, but I think the ice is the next important thing as far as durability, because that's the biggest component to the engine block, is the actual internal combustion engine itself. So went ahead and spent some money on that to upgrade that. Now let's go ahead and go to the race weekend, and this is going to be towards the end of the video. And yeah, so I want to thank all of you that were able to join me, and if you enjoyed this, please consider returning back for my next video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.